There are hundreds of video game franchises, a lot of them being around for over 10 years now. Not every one of them has stood the test of time though. They couldn't manage to bring their games into the next generation and the series failed. Not all though. Doom, the grandfather of the first-person shooter, is without a doubt the best reboot I have ever played. Doom modernized itself without becoming a modern shooter, and it did that in just 3 simple ways. The first being how fast-paced it is. One of the first things you'll notice when playing Doom is that you can't hide behind cover. Continuous movement is the only strategy that'll keep you alive, and it works so well. Most games have become cover shooters, and you might not even have realized. Call of Duty, Battlefield, Grand Theft Auto, all of these games have become the same formulaic combat experience. Step 1, run into enemies. Step 2, shoot at them. Step 3, get behind cover. Step 4, wait for them to stop shooting at you. And step 5, shoot back at them. It's not a terrible way to do things, but when so many games have this interaction, they start to blend together and it becomes boring. Doom doesn't want to be boring. The developers always wanted you to be moving around, so they didn't give you any cover to hide behind. And if you try to run and hide, the enemies are programmed to seek you out and attack you strategically. But that's not the only thing that Doom removes in order to keep up its fast pace. Reloading is also absent. Yeah, something as simple as taking a few seconds to reload was removed. I honestly didn't even realize it my first playthrough. You could still run out of ammo, but you never have to stop and reload. I think the fact that I didn't realize it shows exactly how well designed this game is. Not only would it slow down the gameplay, but it would force you to hide and make you feel vulnerable, and that's the exact opposite of what the developers wanted you to feel. And that brings us to point number 2. Doom doesn't follow trends and it stays away from staples in modern shooters. To me, one of the biggest differences between modern shooters and classics is how they handle health. Regenerating health is the newest way to handle it. When you get hurt, you have to go into cover and wait for your health to slowly recharge. Doom 2016 takes the classic approach of health packs. It's been a long time since I've seen a health pack in a game, but they really make it work. You can find health packs around the map, or when an enemy is low on health, you can perform a brutal melee attack on them and their body will explode with health. It's probably the most Doom thing in Doom. This does more than just look cool though. By having health packs, there's a whole new challenge. You're not fighting endless waves of cannon fodder, with the challenge being to survive a certain amount of time. No, your challenge becomes killing every enemy in the room. A great quote I saw on Reddit was, "You're not locked in a room with the demons. The demons are locked in the room with you." And it's funny because while it is a parody from Watchmen, the other thing Doom doesn't do is become too cinematic. Personally, I love cinematic games like The Last of Us or God of War, but at the end of the day, I'm playing a video game for a reason. Doom doesn't even have cutscenes, and it was jarring at first, but it was a nice change of pace. And even without them, it still has exposition and story for those of you who could pick up on environmental clues. And that's one of the advantages that video games have over any other medium. You can explore and come to your own conclusions. If nothing else, Doom is a game that takes full advantage of the medium it's in. And that brings us to our final point. It stays true to its roots. Doom has always been a run and gun experience. You go around brutally killing demons and finding new and even more bombastic weapons to kill them with. But honestly, that's it. The formula hasn't changed much since it was created 27 years ago. So why is it still so addictive? Jamie Griesemer, the game design lead on Halo 2, said this.
In Halo 1, there was maybe 30 seconds of fun that happened over and over and over and over again. So if you can get 30 seconds of fun, you can pretty much stretch that out to be an entire game. And so you can have all the great graphics and all the different characters and lots of different weapons with amazing effects, but if you don't nail that 30 seconds, you're not going to have a great game.
At the time, he was talking about Halo 1, but I think it can work for any game. There is room in the industry for every type of game, but it seems recently that games are becoming more and more complicated just for the sake of being complicated. Doom is the perfect game to sit down, turn off your brain, and just slaughter some demons. It's a power fantasy, and it always has been. The original Doom stood out for not only being the first-person shooter, but as a game where you can take charge and kick ass. And in Doom 2016, you still kick ass. Everything in the game is designed to make you feel that way, even down down to the music. It fits the tone and the pacing. Killing demons while metal blast in the background is what Doom started as, and it's all the game has to be. A lot of franchises tried to modernize their series, but failed. Sometimes horribly, but no one knows FPS like the creator of them. It's not only about modernizing without becoming a modern shooter. The developers show that they knew it's about what Doom does differently, and how Doom 2016 was a breath of fresh air that we all needed.